So there's a major problem coming down the line for the church in its use of artificial intelligence that I don't think a lot of people have talked about, but I'm deeply concerned about and have been reflecting on. And here's what I'm seeing. The church relies on spiritual creativity. And spiritual creativity is the intersection in the gifts and talents that God gave me as a creative person and the Holy Spirit, the creative power of God, right? When those two things connect with each other, it produces something profoundly powerful. The works of St. Thomas Aquinas, right? The beautiful paintings that we see in church art and beautiful music, all examples of spiritual creativity. Now, here's the challenge about artificial intelligence and the church, is that artificial intelligence provides an incredible opportunity to outpace our capacity as a church. It's a great tool in so many areas and kind of levels the playing field as far as resources go in some areas except one. And that's in the area of spiritual creativity, and that's what I'm concerned about. People who outsource sermons, content, creative functions to AI in the spiritual realm, because there is an increasing body of research about what AI does to our creative nature. It diminishes it. Actually, the more we use AI, ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, God forbid, Copilot, but the more we use those things for creative work, the less creative we actually become. And this is a challenge for people that need to use spiritual creativity. What all of those platforms pump out is really vanilla, kind of bland creative content, right? When you read it online, and you see a ton of it now, right? When you read it online, you know there's like an uncanny valley in content, right? Where you're like, AI generated that. You can tell. Everybody can tell. Now, here's my concern. The church is growing. People are returning to religion. They're returning to Jesus. They're coming to know Jesus for the first time in an incredible way, right? People need the gospel. But I'm concerned they're going to walk into churches and find somebody that is really just an incarnation of ChatGPT, giving them a sermon with no teeth, a teaching with no power, because they've outsourced it to AI. That is the danger. So I think there's a lot of functions within the church world that AI can help us with, but there's one that it can't, and that's in the area of spiritual creativity. So if you are a spiritual leader, you need to do this for me. Don't outsource your creative energy to ChatGPT. Instead, pray at least an hour a day, write it yourself, and then lean into the discernment of the Spirit that's going to give you what people are seeking. In a world full of AI, you can be spirit-driven.